Well, here it is. So I sent a little note to Mo thanking him for that. And the Cardinals have a very nice situation here. This is the plan for this team is to never go back to where they were, which is kind of a half minor league system that was once the envy of baseball, an organization that won Organization of the Year under Mo's watch. With Bill DeWitt on down, this team has decided that they got behind. They don't want to catch up to everybody. They want to pass everybody. And they still have work to do to catch the Dodgers and some of these other teams that have instructors everywhere, that have top-notch facilities and technology. This is a big league facility without question down here in Jupiter, Florida. So excellent job from that standpoint. Now I look forward to getting some eyes on the team. I have been watching the team from a distance. I just got here yesterday from St. Louis. I had been paying attention to what Matt Pauley and Mike Claiborne, John Rooney, Ricky Horton, everybody was reporting from down here. But it's time to get after it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the game today. Cardinals take on the Marlins tomorrow, or today rather, 12:10 start, noon pregame. Tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I will have the call with Mike Claiborne and Stephen Carey. We're going to bring you 3 straight games on our streaming platform at cardinals.com, KMOX.com. Stephen Claibs and I will have the game tomorrow, and then Stephen and I will head to Port St. Lucie. Looking forward to that. He and I always have a great time on those road trips. We'll head up north to go see the Cardinals and the Mets on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, the 3 of us will be back at it in West Palm Beach for the Cardinals game there. So that is the plan for the next 3 days after this. For today, you're going to have Ricky Horton and Mike Claiborne calling the action from our booth here at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. 12:10 start. Cardinals are the road team today in their own facility against the Miami Marlins. The Cardinals yesterday had an outstanding outing from Kyle Leahy. He pitched 4 perfect innings as the Cards lost the game to the Mets 3-2. They saw Leahy strike out 5 in his 4 perfect innings. Riley O'Brien held the game scoreless with a good 5th inning. Bryson Motts gave up a couple of runs in his 2 innings. Only one of those runs was earned. The Cardinals ended up losing at 3-2. Got a home run out of Joshua Baez. Got 3 hits out of Alec Burleson yesterday. He was 3 for 3. And the Cardinals also made some announcements. Jimmy Crooks, Leo Bernal, among those who were optioned to AAA Memphis. They didn't have Ivan Herrera in the lineup yesterday. He was a scratch, just a little bit of knee inflammation, which they're going to check out today. Ollie told me just a little while ago when I asked him in front of the group that he would know probably in about an hour how Ivan is moving around and if it's good to go or if he's going to need a couple of days. But they kept him out as a precaution yesterday due to that soreness. Riley O'Brien, who had a calf injury, Ollie telling me that Riley actually came out of that really well. He's looking good today. He will be on his schedule to make more appearances for the rest of spring training. He's one of those arms they're depending on for the back end of the bullpen, along with Matt Swanson. Ryan Stanek has been really good down here. Cardinals like their bullpen, and they like their rotation. I think the questions, of course, are these position players going to take another step forward and grow? And I'm pointing directly at Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman. Those are 2 players that need to have really good years, I think. The go around the horn, though, Burleson, Weatherholt, Wynn, and the third baseman, presumably Gorman, have a chance to make some noise, especially Weatherholt and Burleson, with Wynn, somebody who will continue to move his offense forward. But I think Weatherholt is already locked up, in my mind, the leadoff spot. He looks awesome. Burleson, middle of the order bat. You can move him around anywhere, but he's a 2, 3, or 4 hitter if you ever saw one. And then in the outfield, big question. I don't know who's going to play where. I mean, the center fielder today is Nathan Church. Church has a cannon, and he hit a bomb already this season. Victor Scott II has tons of speed, but hasn't shown a ton yet in terms of offense. So the center field position's interesting to me. Right field is Jordan Walker's spot, but he'll get a lot of time to play and show what he can do, get his at-bats going out there and at the plate and play a lot of right field and continue to improve there. But left field's a big question, and I want to see who starts there on opening day and beyond. Is it going to be Sajasi or Fermin? Will they go with somebody else out there, a regular outfielder? What is Lars Nootbaar's timetable? All that stuff is to be answered down here in spring training. And, of course, behind the plate. I mentioned Crooks and Bernal were sent out, so that leaves your Pajes and Pozo and Herrera and the catching position starting to have a little bit of clarity. So it's all very, very interesting. As you know, covering spring training down here is a passion of mine. It doesn't take me long to get from basketball, which I've been entrenched with for months, into baseball mode. It happens pretty quickly. So I'm looking forward to going through this entire roster and really digging in on a daily basis from here until the start of opening day as to what the Cardinals are going to look like. In fact, Chaim Bloom, the Cardinals president of baseball operations, is going to be on with us in about an hour. I have a lot of questions for him at 11:30. In fact, I've invited him to join me right here in our KMOX studio inside the Cardinals facility. So hopefully he takes me up on that. I look forward to sitting down with him. When we come back, we'll talk to Bernie Miklasz. We have college basketball to get to for sure. There's a lot to talk about, especially with the Billikens. I have major concerns right now about them, Mizzou and the Valley tournament and all that stuff. We have hockey to talk about. We have soccer to talk about. And we'll get you to Cardinal baseball with an 11:55 final break on this show to our noon pregame. Back in a moment. It's sports on a Sunday morning. Just absolutely thrilled to once again bring it to you live from Cardinals spring training in Jupiter, Florida, and we'll be right back.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
Unlock a brighter outdoor space in 2026 with Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Let us be your trusted partner for all your landscaping, lawn, and gardening needs, empowering you to create a haven that brings joy and serenity to your life. From landscape design to property maintenance to our garden center, we're here for you. Houseplants, tree shrubs, organic soil mixes, gardening and plant classes, and more. Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center has what you need no matter what the season. Visit us weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday hours start in March. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for all class and sale updates.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
From Jupiter, Florida, we say hello in St. Louis to our good friend Bernie Miklasz. Bernie, it's great to be back at spring training. and talking baseball. How are you, buddy?
I'm fired up, man. A great time of the year. We're less than 3 weeks from opening day at Busch Stadium. You've got, conference tournaments coming up and NCAA tournament coming up after that. So in college basketball, so a lot of great stuff going on. WBC,
absolutely,
which I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I'll be jumping in on that.
Yeah, how about this? I'm going to go with Dave Glover and Michael Kelly. I am taking them to Lone Depot Park on Wednesday. We're going to go see the Dominican Republic, managed by Albert Pujols, take on Venezuela. You don't think that'll be exciting and energetic in that building? Holy smokes.
Oh, gosh. You guys will have fun. What a great atmosphere that'll be.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Looking forward to that. I had a nice dinner last night with those guys and John Hancock and Mike Claiborne, and it's nice to be back down here. Got here yesterday, just getting adjusted, Bernie, but as I mentioned in the open, it doesn't take me long. I really love this game of baseball. This organization has been very good to me, and I know that the fans have a great history with it, and it'll take some time for everybody, I think, to adjust to where the Cardinals are going right now. But it hit me pretty hard when I saw the facility here, Bernie. It's kind of like a sign to everybody that things are changing around here. This is now a top of the line, and the Cardinals expect this organization and everything that they do moving forward to be top of the line.
See, and I think that you nailed it. You nailed it. Listen, we all have talked about, 1,000 times, like the mistakes that were made along the way and how they let some things slide. There's no question about that. But there's really no point in talking about that anymore because we know what happened. You can't change it, except they did change it. And now they have a whole new era beginning. And what I think is maybe challenging for some people is that naturally we tend to pay attention to what happens between the lines, who's hitting. This guy's hitting this. That pitcher has that ERA. And so we'll make judgments on spring training games, but we'll make judgments in regular season games. And maybe the results won't be great. Maybe they'll be better than we think. Maybe they'll be a little worse than we think. I don't know. But my message would be this. There have been sweeping changes, top to bottom, all for the better. All for the better. The Cardinals have caught up. They're now, in terms of modernization, they have joined the upper class in Major League Baseball in terms of facilities and technology and all the things they were lacking before: instructors, teachers, specialized instruction. So it's hard to see the progress. Like if the team's got a below 500 record, right? You see, well, okay, that all that stuff's nice, but they have a losing team. What it's important to do is the stuff that we don't see, the stuff below the surface, the stuff that happens away from the 9 innings they play each day, the stuff that happens in the minor leagues in terms of in a whole new world in terms of instruction and facilities and technology. We don't see those things during the regular season. But that's where incredible changes have been made, incredible changes that are going to lead to a bright future for the Cardinals. So I think people just need to keep that in mind. You're not going to see it. It's literally not within your vision because it's happening in other places. But man, what progress they've made. And it's that's what's got me fired up. In other words, Tom, sorry I'm talking so long. If you're going to rebuild, who wants to rebuild, right? Although the Cardinals had to. If you're going to rebuild, do it the right way and spare no expense and do everything you have to do to make it a great rebuild. And they are doing everything they have to do to strengthen the possibility that it'll be a rebuild that's very, very well done. Only time will tell on that.
Absolutely. And everybody has to keep their focus. There is an expectation level now. And I think that everybody will have their foot on the gas here, whether it's players, front office, coaches, manager. By the way, broadcasters, columns will be written, stories will be documented, video, you name it. If you're part of this entire movement moving forward, everybody will be held accountable. There should be open and honest discussions about where the Cardinals are headed. None of that is going to stop, and the fans will do the same. They'll jump on. It's going to take some time, but they'll be part of it too. My question to you is, realistically, how long do you think it could take for the Cardinals to have a team that is making a legitimate push for a World Series, which is where they used to expect to be each and every year?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think that they're going to be more competitive this year than a lot of think. I think next year in 2027, we don't know what's going to happen on the labor front, whether the season will be interrupted and all that. But I think in 2027, they're going to make great progress. They'll be in the winning column. Maybe they'll even be on the borderline of being a playoff contender. 2028 is where I believe it'll start to get really, really interesting, and the excitement will start to build. Now, whether that means they're going to be able to get into the tournament and compete for a World Series, I have no idea. I mean, because it just really depends on the prospects that this organization is really, really excited about, and they have every reason to be excited about them. But will those prospects come through? Will they meet expectations, or will they fall below expectations? It's just very tough to look. For me, anyway, it's really tough to look too far into the future. But we do know this: they have their best farm system in terms of player development and farm system rankings than they've had in a very, very long time. And they are so much deeper in young talent than they've been in a very long time. I would say not since 2013 have they had this much young talent in development and going to be getting to the majors one by one over the next 2-3 years. So that's the exciting part. You know what's coming. There may be some patience required to know exactly what that means in terms of success, but I think Chaim Bloom's really, really smart. I know Bill DeWitt will spend some money when they're getting close, where they have to sort of top off their roster with things they don't have. I think they'll be more aggressive then, of course, during the winter, during the trademark, some free agency. So I think it's going to be really fascinating and a lot of fun to just see how this all plays out.
Bernie, one more thing on this, and I just heard you say it, and I hear other people say it too, that you think this team could be better this year than some think. What leads you to believe that?
Well, starting pitching is going to be much better than it was last year. And, I throw this stat out there, but I'm going to do it again. Not to pick on these guys, but last season when Miklasz, Fetty, and Palante started a game, the Cardinals had a winning percentage of about 378. When anybody else started a game, their winning percentage was about 640. The point is, the starting pitching was so bad, it just nullified them in so many games where they just didn't have a chance to win. That will not be the case this year. It'll be the starting pitching. I'm not saying, like I joke, I'm not saying this is 1968 with Gibson. Okay, I'm not saying that. But compared to last year, this will be a deeper group, a solid group, a more talented group. And they will win. They won 78 games last year, and I still don't know how they did it, really. They're going to win more games this year, a lot more games this year, simply because the starting pitching will keep them in the games, and the starting pitching will not get them blown out of games the way it happened so often last year.
Bernie, just a little bit of time left. This is March, and basketball has a way of finding you in March.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have your team ready to go, you will get beat. These are the best coaches, and they will find a way to beat you. And you're seeing it with St. Louis University. This is a fall that I'm very concerned about. But what did you see? What is your analysis right now of SLU? And then if you don't mind, comment on Mizzou too as we head into the tournament.
I haven't been into Mizzou as much as SLU, but I'm going to tell you this. I did some homework expecting that you'd ask me about this. These 3 road losses, Rhode Island, Dayton, and George Mason, if you look at the bottom line, the turnovers have killed the Billikens. In those 3 road losses, outscored 64-23 on turnovers, and it was really bad, the Rhode Island game and the Mason game. Then you look at three-point shooting, and the 3 road losses. SLU got 54 points on threes. Their opponent scored 81. If you look at the foul line discrepancy, huge advantage. The other side, 81 to 54. Excuse me, I got that wrong. In the 3 road losses, SLU made 40 free throws. Their opponents made 65. So the turnovers are killing them. The lack of offensive rebounding is killing them. The 3-point shooting differential is killing them. And there's a couple of other things, but the turnovers have absolutely destroyed the momentum this team had so wonderfully before they started getting thumped on the road.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for sure. And now you try to figure out what this thing is going to look like. If I'm Josh Schertz, I'm telling my team, you got to go win this A-10 tournament. Don't put this in the hands of anybody else. But it's tough. They're going to have to figure it out this week. And this week right here, right now, with a Friday 10:30 start for SLU against the winner of Fordham and GW. Bernie, we appreciate our visits as always. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing about Mizzou, they're Jekyll and Hyde, and I don't mean that to disparage them, but they're capable of beating Florida and Kentucky and other teams that we've seen, and then they'll show up the next game and you don't know what you're going to get. So that's why I say it's really hard for me to diagnose the Mizzou Tigers, but they're going to get in. They got about a 67% chance for an at-large bid.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. They're too inconsistent for my taste, but when they do turn it on, they can be overwhelming because of their size and athleticism. We'll see where it all goes. They play the winner of Kentucky and LSU on Thursday morning at 11:30. So we got a lot of basketball in front of us. I love this time of year where you get basketball during the day, baseball during the day. We all kind of process it and do it all over the next day. There's a lot going on. Bernie, always good to hear your voice, my friend. We'll have the very latest from spring training, and I know we're going to have coverage each and every day from here on out. We appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
He is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and Stewart's American Mortgage. It's always a treat to visit with Bernie Miklasz. Coming up next, it is my analyst on the Billiken TV broadcast, Troy Robertson, the former Billiken, is going to join us to talk more about this SLU team. At 10:45, Mike Palm of Circa Sports. They have a partnership with the St. Louis Blues we will talk about, but also how to get yourself a little action during this time of year. They have a sports betting site that is out of this world and some really good deals as well, as everybody's sort of figuring this Missouri sports gambling out right now. Circa seems to have caught their stride, that's for sure. Mike Palm will be with us. At 11:15, Corey Wray, St. Louis City SC, has not caught their stride when it comes to offense, so they've got to figure that out, and pronto. We'll talk to Corey about it, see how patient he is with what Yohan DeMay's team is doing. And at 11:30, Chaim Bloom from here in Jupiter, Florida. I'm Tom Ackerman of the Cardinals Spring Training Home, and we will be right back on Sports on a Sunday Morning from the Stiefel Sports Studio.
Conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate. Evans is a proven fighter and the only candidate for U.S. Senate with guts and know-how to get the job done. As an attorney, she took on China and corporate criminals. Jeannie Evans won billions for working families. As senator, Evans will fight and win for you. She'll work to cut taxes and lower the cost of living. Evans believes that keeping Illinois safe will take more than just wishful thinking. It takes courage, and Jeannie Evans has the record to prove it. Evans will always be tough on crime. She'll hold China accountable for trafficking fentanyl and stealing our personal data. Jeannie Evans puts America first. A proven fighter. Conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate.
I'm Jeannie Evans, Republican candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jeannie for Illinois.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million
all these small conference tournaments, Missouri Valley wrapping up today, and then all the big conferences next week. Yeah, for a bettor, I think next week is probably, if you love college basketball, the best week of the year because you get so many games every day. I mean, let's face it, with the big tournament, you get 16, 16, and 8 and 8, but you're getting 80 plus games on Wednesday and Thursday next week in these conference tournaments, and oftentimes teams playing each other for a third time. So I think for handicappers and bettors, it's the perfect week.
I have enjoyed conversations with you and with your CEO of Circa Sports, Derek Stevens. Tell us about Win Derek's Wallet. This is very interesting. It's unique, I think, when it comes to sports betting.
Yeah, so we started this promotion. Today wraps up the second full week, and then there's one more week of it. So it includes Selection Sunday. So 8 days left in this. Bettors in Missouri can earn shares of Derek's Wallet. And Derek's Wallet, for the purposes of this promotion, is $250,000. There's different tier levels to earn a share. A bettor could earn up to 3 shares. Very basically, if you wager just $100 during this period, you earn 1 share. Anyone that wagers $1,000 or more earns 2 shares, and those that wager $5,000 or more earn 3 shares. And I have to tell you, Tom, I'm just looking at the pacing here. Looks like we might come in right around a little under 500 shares, and if that's the case, each share would be worth over $500.
Huh. Yeah, that's a lot of money to be earned right now. That's how did you all come up with this, and what was behind that?
Well, obviously we launched in Missouri on December 1st, and we're going up against some brands that have some national awareness, and obviously casino operators that are having their own sports books. So we're sort of the new guy in Missouri, and trying to give folks a reason to come and check out Circa. We don't do all the bonusing like some of the others do. We try to have our value in our pricing, but that's very demonstrative, Tom. People have to come and experience to understand it. Somebody would say, well, why would I bet with Circa when I can bet with brand X, and let's just say FanDuel, and I'm going to get a $200 bonus every week, and I'm going to get the parlay boost and all that. And I would tell you, because over the long run, paying less juice on your bets and getting better pricing, both on a daily basis and in the future, is better in the long run. But that's demonstrative. You have to have people go on the app and start using it for them to figure that out. So we thought as a way to get Missouri bettors to come and check us out, we would give away this $250,000 in this wonderful time of the year in March.
Circa just has a ton of experience, I feel like, for many years. Did you go to players and say, what do you want? What could make this the best experience overall for you? Because I do feel like this is designed for players specifically by people who have been on both sides of the counter.
Well, it starts with Derek. And, you mentioned Derek Stevens, our owner and CEO. I mean, him and his family are in the automotive supply industry. They make fasteners that go on these cars, and it's an incredible business. And his first experience of Las Vegas was as a gambler himself. And, in 2007, with the economy taking a downturn, he felt the need to diversify his family's holdings. And so he came out to Las Vegas and bought 50% of the Golden Gate. But his ultimate goal, even back then in 2007, was to have his own sports book, because the two things he loves is to play craps and bet sports. So a lot of this comes from what he loves as a bettor. And I mean, the stadium swim at Circa, the pool with the huge screen, right? It's an outdoor sports book. I mean, that was one of his things. He used to take us all around every Sunday in the summers from like 2014 through 2018. And we would go to all these different pools in Las Vegas, great pools, right? DJs and the day drinking and all that. But you couldn't get to watch a game. I mean, we went one place one time and they didn't have it. The NBA Finals was going on a Sunday afternoon, and they weren't showing it at the pool. So everything is sort of designed from that perspective. And then, we want the pro bettors to bet with us. We're not say, oh, you're pro, you're winning better. We don't want you to bet with us. We actually want you to bet with us because we want to get to the right number quicker. And we can do that by if we put a number up there and, we say the game's -4 and we got our pros laying 4, laying 5, laying 6, well, we probably put the wrong number up. And the sooner we can get to the right number, whether it's 6.5 or 7, the better it is for us. So we embrace that. And you said it very well. It's designed from a bettor's perspective.
Yeah, I've been in that situation where I've been in a pool at Vegas and I'm looking at my phone, like trying to get the scores. It's ridiculous. I mean, you did an amazing job of that. One last thing, and that is because it's something else that you did. You recognized right away, we got to link ourselves to a great St. Louis brand. So you went right in with the St. Louis Blues. Tell us about that partnership and why that's meaningful to you.
Yeah, it's really been great so far, and Chris Zimmerman and his team, we've had a tremendous experience working with them. We know how invested the Blues are in the city and in the community, and that's not to say the Cardinals aren't, right? But when you get into baseball, it's a little different numbers in terms of sponsorship, and getting into football, it's even more ridiculous. But and we're big hockey guys, obviously, right? And we come from the Midwest, and all of us, and of course, huge Knights supporters, and Derek's a big Red Wings fan. I grew up a big Blackhawks fan, right? So we love hockey. The great thing about hockey is, they play the games on Mondays and Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights and Thursday nights, and that's a great time to take customers out. We don't want to take everybody away from the casino on Saturday and Sunday because we throw the party there. So hockey's great. The Blues are great. St. Louis is a great sports town. I've always said I thought the Cardinals had the most educated fan base of any professional sports team. My dad used to take us every year to St. Louis. He preferred to go to St. Louis to watch the Cubs play as opposed to going to Chicago. So every year we would go down for a 4-game series at Busch Stadium. So it's been great so far, and we're really happy that we were able to connect with the Blues early.
It's Circus Sports. You can download the app and get right after it, and it is a pleasure to be joined by Mike Palm, their Vice President of Operations. Good to talk to you again, Mike. Have a great rest of your day, and enjoy the college basketball this month. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, enjoy that good weather in Arizona, Tom. Thanks.
I'll do my best down here in Jupiter, Florida, as Mike Palm joins us. It is sports on a Sunday morning from the Stiefel Sports Studio, Cardinals spring training. And when we come back next hour, we will get all into the St. Louis City SC game yesterday. They lost 1-0 to Seattle. We'll talk to Chaim Bloom here in studio. He's going to join us. Don't go anywhere. Sports on a Sunday morning.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
When it comes to lighting, Gray Bar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Gray Bar mode. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Knox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Knox 47 is brand new. The hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Knox 47 for free, call now. 800-677-1453. That's 800-677-1453. Free bottles for limited time. Call 800-677-1453. That's 800-677-1453.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTRCM.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
News Radio KMOX, the home of the Cardinals.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Wendy Gillette. An apparent Iranian cluster munition strike has hit more than a dozen sites in Tel Aviv, Israel, injuring at least 5 people. That will soon become less common, according to U.S. United Nations Ambassador Mike Waltz, who spoke to ABC.
Ballistic missile launches from Iran largely degraded. Where the figures that they're putting out, around 90% reduction from the first days of the war a week ago.
Iran says it's not backing down as U.S.-Israeli attacks enter a second week. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, on NBC.
It is, in fact, the president of the United States who should apologize from the people of the region and Iranian people for the killings and destructions they have done against us.
There are growing concerns the conflict will expand to more of the Middle East, including for former Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Admiral Mike Mullen.
Survival itself is something that sometimes we don't quite get right. They're going to sacrifice everything they've got in order to make sure that they can survive. And I think they'll draw the war out.
He was interviewed on ABC. Tornadoes in Michigan and Oklahoma killed at least 6 people Friday. Another apparent twister hit Marion County, Texas, where Bill Ramsey's home was destroyed.
My house ain't worried about, but I was in tears thinking about how close my daughter came to dying.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem spoke at the Shield of the Americas Summit in Florida, formed to eradicate drug cartels in Central and South America. Noem is taking on a new role as special envoy to the initiative after President Trump ousted her as Homeland Security Secretary.
Our objectives are going to be to destroy the cartels, to go after these narco-terrorists that are destroying our people, killing our children and our grandchildren.
New York lawmakers are considering a bill that would allow outdoor drinking during this year's World Cup.
Manhattan State Assemblyman Tony Simone introduced the bill.
The last time we had the World Cup, we were crowded in bars. Why not take advantage of the beautiful weather in June?
Customers would be able to walk from bar to bar with their drinks in plastic cups. Some streets could even be closed to cars. Alan Flores at Sir Henry's Bar on 8th Avenue is all for it.
I think it would actually be a pretty fun experience and would actually bring a lot more people in and out.
MetLife Stadium across the Hudson River in New Jersey will host 8 World Cup matches, including the final July 19th. Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
World Cup matches get underway June 11th. They'll be held in 16 cities across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning. This is a slam dunk.
So cute. Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
At 11:03, it is sunny and 48 downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning, I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, there's still no resolution in the conflict between city officials and the state-controlled Board of Police Commissioners. Last month, Mayor Kara Spencer said a $250 million police budget would cripple the city and hurt other employees. Now she says the police board has raised the amount from $250 to $333 million. Board President Chris Saraceno says that's not true.
It would be irresponsible for this board to even think that asking for $333 million is in the best interest of the city. I personally value and see the work that our city workforce does on a day in and day out basis, and they work very hard.
On Friday, city workers rallied in front of City Hall over concerns they might lose their jobs. Police Chief Robert Tracy says the police department also needs the city's support so it can attract the best officers available in the job market. Senator Josh Hawley calling President Trump's ratepayer protection pledge a step in the right direction. He says his legislation would mandate companies be absolutely clear on what it is they actually require when it comes to power for data centers.
I mean, these are the richest corporations in the world. They can pay for their own stuff. And I think the idea that they would come to Missouri and ask for Missourians to pay for their electricity, or that they would take away power supply, or that they would kick people off the grid, that's ridiculous, and we ought to just ban that by legislation.
He says his bill would require every data center coming into Missouri or any other state pay their own way. That includes paying their own electricity bills, building out their power supply, and their water bills. Metrolink passengers were stunned by a shattered window Friday night. It happened around 7:30 as the train approached the Central West End station. Rider Christopher Cormier told Fox 2.
Shock and then panic. I think like everyone else, I thought it was a gunshot at first. And as soon as my senses came to me, I'm on the floor with the rest of them. I'm seeing if anyone's okay. I'm having people asking me if I'm okay.
Police say no gunshots were fired, but they aren't sure of the source yet. They're investigating it as property damage. Now your weather forecast.
There will be a lot of sunshine throughout this afternoon. It will be pleasant and warmer, a high of 69. A clear sky tonight, low 47. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, breezy and very warm. Highs will be near the record of 80 set in 1925. And breezy and warm Tuesday with some sun followed by clouds. There will be a couple of heavy thunderstorms late in the day or at night. Tuesday's high up to 83. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 49 in St. Peters, 50 in Florissant, and 48 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
It is hour number 2 coming to you from the Cardinals Spring Training Complex. Good to be with you. If you are joining us on X, YouTube, and Facebook, you can see that our video is up and running. We had no problems with it at all. I just didn't do it the first hour. We had a lot going on over here. I had Ollie Marmol talking to reporters up until a couple of minutes before we went on the air. Got a tour of this fantastic facility. Got everything situated here. It's very nice to have our own room. And you can see that I'm in it right now. And joining me here at 11:30 will be Chaim Bloom. So I'm going to have to position this camera so both of us can be on so that we can see what it looks like here down in Jupiter, Florida. I also have an announcement on behalf of KMOX and the Cardinals. We are very pleased to announce that the Gas House Gang, which is incredibly popular right now, and we thank all of you for that. This is Cardinals fans who power this thing. Cardinals fans, don't ever doubt Cardinals fans. Let me say that first before I make this announcement. If you are not a Cardinals fan and you look at these games and you see empty seats at Busch Stadium and you're saying, what's wrong with Cardinals fans? Don't they care about the team anymore? Don't ever doubt them. They have boosted the Gas House Gang to heights that I'm not even sure we expected, and it's much appreciated. But I'll tell you, the guy that really jump-started this show, not this show, this was jump-started by the great people who have carried KMOX through this 100-year run. But the Gas House Gang specifically is Ollie Marmol, the Cardinals manager who started to do the show with us on Tuesdays. I'm happy to announce that he will return in 2026 and will be with us every Tuesday at 12:05 p.m. So we are thrilled about that. He will be back on the radio station. It's a rare opportunity. I'm not sure of any manager that does it. I've heard that Aaron Boone does a thing with John Boy, which is cool. John Boy Media, they've always done a great job with baseball and specifically connected to the New York Yankees. But there isn't a manager in baseball who sits with a laptop in front of him and our streaming platform in front of him, and he can see what we see. So he sees all the comments. Ollie this, Ollie that, fire Ollie, blah, blah, blah. He sees it. And he also sees the good stuff because there are some people who do appreciate the fact that he's on. I think even the negative people appreciate the fact that he's there to answer questions from us, from listeners, and to give us insights into the game. And it was Ollie who really collaborated with us on this and wanted to be inside the KMOX window where he could have a little more time to explain. That some of the things that we were doing with him were so short, you have to rip through some news items. There's just not enough time for him to sort of explain what's going on. And some of the things that he did last year, I thought were excellent and in some cases made news. For example, when he had Brant Brown, the Cardinals hitting coach, join us to speak very openly about what was going on behind the scenes with this club, and specifically Jordan Walker, some of those comments that Brant made and Ollie made some news. And it was, so we appreciate Ollie for explaining and being dedicated to the platform. And he does this for Cardinals fans to better understand the club. What I think happens is that people start to better understand him. And he is a smart baseball man, but better than that, he's a good man. And I think he has this team. They have his back. He has theirs. He holds them accountable. Chaim Bloom could have gone with any manager he wanted, and he's decided to go with Ollie Marmol on this project. And this is a team that somehow won 78 games last year with a pitching staff that was serving up a lot of hard hit balls. I'm not sure that happens this year from the rotation, but we'll see. It'll be up to Ollie and the staff to continue to mold those hitters into being winners. And then behind this rotation are some exciting prospects that are on the way. So the project is well underway. It's going to take some time for it to come to fruition, but it's impressive so far what they've been able to do in laying the groundwork. We thank Ollie for doing that. He'll be with us every Tuesday at 12:05 till about the bottom of the hour. So the first half of the show with Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji, and me. So that's going to be a lot of fun on Tuesdays. Chaim Bloom will be with us in studio on the way at 11:30. But coming up next, we're going to be joined by Corey Wray, the sporting director at St. Louis City SC. And City last night lost to Seattle 1-0. Let's get a report from KMOX's Jen Cease from Energizer Park. Oh, we'll catch up with Jen in just a bit. We don't have that at the ready. But we shall. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get the real story from Corey Wray, the sporting director at City. He's going to talk about all things soccer. Chaim Bloom at 11:30. Then we'll get you ready for Cardinal baseball, which is at 12 today, at 12:10 first pitch, 12 o'clock pregame. And yes, we're going to talk more college basketball as Troy Robertson was with us. We'll see if we can get the very latest on what the bracket projections are. Let's go back to Jen Cease and her report from Energizer Park.
St. Louis City SC controlled much of the ball Saturday night at Energizer Park, but could not find the breakthrough in a 1-0 loss to the Seattle Sounders. The teams were scoreless at halftime before Seattle struck just 2 minutes into the second half. City pushed forward from there, finishing with the majority of possession, but struggled to turn dangerous moments into clear chances. Head coach Yohan DeMay says that's where the difference was in this match.
We created a lot of danger that we didn't convert enough into clear opportunities. Looking at the performance, quite happy with where we're at tonight. So that's a little bit of a mixed feeling between the performance of the group and, of course, the results that are two different things at the moment.
Marcel Hartle was back in the lineup, and City also saw the debut of new forward Sergio Cordova, who entered in the second half for Cedric Toyshirt. They'll train this week for travel back to the West Coast to face LAFC on Saturday. With the City Spotlight, I'm Jen Cease, KMOX Sports.
Great job, Jen. We appreciate it. We'll hear from Corey Wray, sporting director for City, next. They are on Y98 FM for all of their games, and KMOX has that station right down the hall in our Odyssey collection. We're coming to you from Jupiter, Florida, the Cardinals spring training home, and we'll be right back from the Stiefel Sports Studio. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norb Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Unlock a brighter outdoor space in 2026 with Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Let us be your trusted partner for all your landscaping, lawn, and gardening needs, empowering you to create a haven that brings joy and serenity to your life. From landscape design to property maintenance to our garden center, we're here for you. Houseplants, tree shrubs, organic soil mixes, gardening and plant classes, and more. Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center has what you need no matter what the season. Visit us weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday hours start in March. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for all class and sale updates.
There's nothing like hearing your friends and family clearly. A grandchild's laugh, conversation with a friend, or the punchline to a joke. Charlie Brennan here with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler and her team understand that hearing is personal. That's why you'll always work with certified audiologists like Adam Voss, Bailey Campbell, and Dr. Colleen Bosler.
That's right, Charlie. We offer hearing aids from all major manufacturers, so our recommendations are based on what fits you best. With us, we follow best practice fitting methods to ensure your hearing aids are programmed precisely for your unique hearing needs. But our care doesn't end when you walk out the door. As we know, hearing aids require continued support, adjustments, and maintenance, and we offer these services at no extra cost to you. Because better hearing isn't just about devices, it's about reconnecting to the moments that matter most. Call us today at 636-441-7470 or visit us online at theaudiologycenterstl.com.
If you need a new appliance, this is your sign. Shop at Lowe's now to get up to 35% off and next-day delivery on hundreds of major appliances. A new appliance now means an easier to-do list later. Our best lineup is at Lowe's. Valid through 3/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Order by 4 p.m. Available Monday through Saturday. Subject to availability. Fees, exclusions, and restrictions apply. See Lowes.com/appliance delivery for more details.
If you love sports, this is the show for you. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern on the free Odyssey app and YouTube at The Costos. Bringing you the biggest NFL news, guests, and notes from the offseason while getting you ready to win the madness of college hoops. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Download the Odyssey app and listen from anywhere for sports talk from people who love sports.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show, coming to you live from Jupiter, Florida, the Cardinals spring training home here at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Joining us, fresh off a game at Energizer Park, is the sporting director for St. Louis City SC. Corey Wray is with us this morning. And Corey, I'll start with this. It's great to talk to you again. This 11:15 slot is open to you whenever you are available. We make this St. Louis City SC spot, so the door is open anytime at your convenience.
I appreciate that. I think you just got to check with my daughter if that's okay, because it's a good time in the morning to catch up with her as well. So happy to do it whenever I can, of course.
I bet it is. No, Sunday mornings are very special to spend with family, and we love being part of people's lives here on the radio, but we also respect our guests' lives as well. And we thank you for taking some time. Before I talk soccer, how are things adjusting to our fine area here in St. Louis?
Yeah, really, really enjoying it. Now that we're back from preseason and kind of getting settled, we're having a really nice few days here. We just moved into a home, getting the kids all settled as well. So I'm hoping this weather stays as well and we can get out and start to enjoy everything in the neighborhood as well.
Yeah, let's get that going. This nice spring and summer weather that St. Louis is famous for, although it gets hot. It gets hot in that Energizer Park, but I know that the players are adjusted to that. Aren't they? I mean, that isn't that part of everything that you do? When you talk about the science of the game, the endurance factor in this sport is immense, isn't it, Corey Wray?
Yeah, I mean, look, we have a strong base coming out of preseason, but the amount of work that these guys put in during the week to just be prepared for the game is commendable. They do a lot, obviously, on the field and in the gym to be prepared. So we're quite happy in terms of that side of things where we're at. But clearly the group is pushing and trying to do their best to make sure that we have a really strong physical base, as we move into the next couple months.
when I talked to Diego not long ago about the identity of St. Louis City SC, what is that? He said it's not far off from what we were trying to do before when we were trying to be, I believe, I don't want to take his words, but or mess him up, but more of an aggressive style of play. That does take a lot of effort and endurance as well, doesn't it, Corey? And how do you? Let me ask you about the identity of City. How do you want City to be known throughout the organization?
Yeah, so building off of some of the success that the team had on against the ball side of things, we definitely want to be on the front foot. We want to be aggressive when the other team does have the ball. We'd like to turn it over and win it up higher, and then create chances from that. But this year and moving forward, we do want to start to also solve some problems with the ball and finding that right balance. And game states can affect the way that looks. And obviously opposition scouting can affect some of that, but I think we want to have a good mix of both. You did mention the summertime here and in some of the markets we play in is tough. So if we're only aggressive and if we're only waiting to be reactive to the other teams, I think that doesn't allow us to have a really high ceiling. So we are working on the ball things. You could see some positive moments in the last few games with that. But that's the type of stuff that does take quite a bit for our players to get used to each other, for the coach to implement a lot of different ideas in different phases. But there's positive signs, but it's also not something that's just going to happen when you just flip the switch and start playing. So we are definitely working on that, but there's been, I think, a really good improvement on that side, trying to solve, some of the defensive setups that we've come up against. And we are aware that it won't be something that can just happen tomorrow, but I'm happy in some of the opportunities we've been able to create, but we got to finish. We know we got to be a bit more ruthless there. And so we'll continue to work on that as the weeks go by.
How would you overall evaluate that game against Seattle? As of course, we're talking about the bigger picture here about the team moving forward, but that Seattle game is indicative of what you just said, isn't it? You were out shooting them. I believe it was 8-2 in the first half. They score in the first 2 minutes of the second half, and you're not able to show anything for your efforts on the scoreboard. Yeah,
I think it's good that we're really upset that we didn't beat Seattle. I think it's good that we felt like, especially in the first game as well against Charlotte, that we should have won. We tried to go toe-to-toe with San Diego, and they're an amazing team, but we're playing some really, really well-oiled machines. I have a long history of not being able to beat Seattle. They're an excellent team. They're well-organized. They just do everything really well, and they don't give up a lot. And so that is a learning for us. If we do make a mistake, these top teams will punish you. And so we got to get that out of our system early. But overall, I think, look, we had the opportunity to really, take something from the game. Overall, we do need to refine some of those final third actions and be a lot more ruthless, like I said. But in general, like, we are playing a team like Seattle and controlling the game in most of the areas and not giving up a lot against them either. And so I think that's the positive we can take from that. And, we will go back to the drawing board this week and start to really tweak on those final third opportunities as much as we can.
Corey, were those hard decisions to make when you had to move on from players who had been known around here for a while, like Joao Klaus? I mean, we're seeing it down here at spring training. Chaim Bloom, who I'm going to visit with next, is in a situation where he has had to not tear the team down completely necessarily, but he has had to move on some players. He's trying some younger players and trying to create a fresh start for this team. How did you approach that going in as you took over St. Louis City SC from a sporting director standpoint?
Yeah, look, we certainly appreciate everything that the players had done in the past for the club. But when there's opportunities that present themselves, that especially for the player, that makes sense for them and gives them, the best chance for them and their family. And as a club, we can use the resources, to improve the team long term. I think you have to do it. It's certainly not something, when it comes to goals that we're planning on losing. But I think if we have the patience and the discipline to work with that and to add that back into the team over the course of the next few months. I think you have to do that. We're happy for him and any other player that go on and, do well, but this is a long-term kind of plan here. And certainly if a player is out of contract at the end of the year, you have to make tough decisions. And so I can understand, especially on the baseball side as well, like building up a strong base of assets to then go back out and acquire players that maybe fit more of the long-term vision makes sense. And that's exactly what we're doing here.
Do you have, your answer is going to be yes to this. Do you have the backing of ownership? But how do you have the backing of ownership? What do you feel from ownership in terms of resources and support here moving forward?
I feel great. I've definitely had a number of conversations about what this group needs to look like to contend, to try to win trophies, in the future. And so there's, clearly quick things you can do to just, be in and around a playoff line. But Johan and I came here to win and to win trophies. And so some of the short-term pain, it sucks. We're fiercely competitive. We want to win every game, but we understand that, we don't want to cut corners here with this project. And so ownership has been amazing for the both of us, the support and understanding that we have all the resources that we need to make this, a top caliber team. But with that, we need to make sure that we have the right, scouting group set up. We need to make sure we have the right analysis group set up. And, candidly, that's something that this club hasn't really had in the past in a strong way, at least not what I'm used to. And so we are building behind the scenes with the support of ownership as well to make those big decisions and try to, take a baseball term, hit home runs in recruitment as quickly as possible. So we're very excited about what we can do, with the backing and resources of ownership. They're very competitive as well, and they want this team to be as good as they can as quickly as possible. And so we are working away at the maybe less exciting things to do that while trying to get these results. And so it's a tight balance we're trying to manage, but I think, overall, we could see some big improvement on what we're trying to do from an on-field side of things. But, quality is very important in those final third actions. That's what we're working on right now to make sure we have moving forward.
And one last thing, and I love stories like this, and I'll attribute it. It's Tom Timmerman of the Post-Dispatch, who does a really good job covering the team, but he was, among others, listening in on Roman Berkey, who you still have, who is the face of the franchise in many ways, who has been notoriously aggressive back there, barking orders to his team, holding them accountable, who said, I've kind of not had to do that as much because this coaching staff is very demanding. Do you feel that, Corey? And is that the history of Yohan Demay and his group?
Yeah, but the standards are high. We come off again a game against a team that's won the Champions League, Leagues Cup, MLS Cup multiple times, a coach, who's been in and around, the professional game for, I think, 20 plus years in Brian Schmetzer. And we're really disappointed. I mean, that is very important for our culture moving forward. It's not, oh, well, like whatever. I mean, we're upset, and we have, the other team telling the coaching staff and players, like, how you guys are really good, stick to it. So we're proud. I know the standards going into the game and the effort from the coaching staff is in a really, really, really good way. But this is also a very competitive league full of parity. And so we have to find a way to differentiate ourselves. I think we will be, working each week to make sure we have progress, but these guys are unbelievable in their preparation. And I think that's kind of Roman's point. Like, the guys inside the locker room can see the improvements. For us, we're really, really, really pushing so that the fans can see it as well.
Thank you very much for the time. This is always very valuable, not only for us here at KMOX, but for the fans. So we thank you very much, and the best to you as you move forward, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you. Don't forget your sunscreen down there.
That's right. I got it right here. I got to get that on. It's a little that'll affect me right away. That's Corey Wray, sporting director, St. Louis City SC. Good to chat with him. When we come back, Chaim Bloom, Cardinals president of baseball operations, will join me here in studio inside the Cardinals complex. Back in a moment on KMOX.
conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate. Evans is a proven fighter and the only candidate for U.S. Senate with guts and know-how to get the job done. As an attorney, she took on China and corporate criminals. Jeannie Evans won billions for working families. As senator, Evans will fight and win for you. She'll work to cut taxes and lower the cost of living. Evans believes that keeping Illinois safe will take more than just wishful thinking. It takes courage, and Jeannie Evans has the record to prove it. Evans will always be tough on crime. She'll hold China accountable for trafficking fentanyl and stealing our personal data. Jeannie Evans puts America first.
Including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
This is a message from your sponsor, Intuit TurboTax. This year, file your taxes with TurboTax and hand everything off to one of the thousands of experts who can get you filed online with 100% accuracy. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in the iOS mobile app.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
St. Louis's unofficial holiday is almost here. It's Cardinals opening day, Thursday, March 27th. And KMOX's Takes and Eggs, presented by Budweiser, is back. This year with a new twist. You don't need a ticket to enjoy KMOX's live broadcast at Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village, featuring Cardinals alumni, front office personnel, special guests, and so much more. Doors open at 9 a.m. Celebrate this hometown holiday with Dirt Cheap and Budweiser. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
And that studio is in Jupiter, Florida now at Cardinal Spring Training, and we're joined by the president of baseball operations, Chaim. Look at this. I'm putting us both in the camera shot so everybody can see us here on KMOX. We're on YouTube. We're on X. We're on Facebook. We're all over the place.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice facility.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. This is, I know, your first taste of it. We're starting to get used to it enough, but we can never take it for granted. It really is wonderful. It's so helpful to all the things that we're trying to accomplish. This has been such a long time coming. There's so many people that put so much work into this. It was cool for me. Certainly to get down here last month and see it, but then also have the experience of seeing a lot of other people, especially veteran Cardinals who have spent literally decades of their life in this facility to come in and see what it's become.
How does it stack up with the rest of baseball, talking Arizona and Florida?
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't been everywhere else, so I only know what I know. I really think before there was definitely a sense, look, no one around here complains. This is a staff that just has an attitude of just rolling up their sleeves and getting the work done. That's always how it's been around here. So, nobody viewed it as an obstacle or an impediment, but we knew. I think everybody knew that it was kind of below where the league was. And so I don't know how it would stack up if you ranked it, but I'll tell you what, you walk around here and I don't think there's anybody around here who feels that we aren't equipped now being in this facility, that we can go toe to toe with anybody.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to touring the performance center as well. By the way, there's a water right there that came from the food and beverage area. If you want a water, I'm happy to
thank
do
you.
it. I mean, I haven't seen that either. I mean, and that's actually a big deal. I know that we're going to talk about the club in a minute, but nutrition is part of this whole thing. Not that it wasn't good food before. There was a food truck, basically.
Yeah, and actually, given that it was a mobile kitchen, it was pretty remarkable what they were able to do. But critically, that was only something that folks in big league camp could eat. So until this year, there had not been a minor leaguer in the history of the St. Louis Cardinals that had eaten food at this complex that was cooked on site. And simply put, like, the food is the one thing that literally everybody, and for that matter, us, the polo shirt wearers, we eat that too, right? So, like, it's the one thing you can do that affects everybody in the building. And we all know the importance of nutrition. That's obvious, but now we're actually able to act on it at scale in a way that, these little advantages should add up. If we can do a little bit better by all our minor league players on the way up in terms of what they're putting in their bodies to get ready for the season, hopefully that pays dividends in terms of strength, in terms of speed, in terms of durability. And let's face it, we're all people, right? You feed people well, they tend to have a smile on their face, and everybody's got a little bit of a spring in their step just because of what we have available to us now.
Now let's get down to business here, because you have a roster. Got it right in front of me. This is the spring training roster. It's going to start to tighten up a little bit. And yesterday you did make some moves. You optioned Leo Bernal and Jimmy Crooks to AAA. Tell me about that move and how that clarifies what you're doing at catcher.
Yeah, it is that time of camp when we're gonna start getting into some of those tougher decisions. And some of them obviously have a lot of players here that we're very excited about, and it's just not their time yet. And certainly for Leo, like he's an example of that, where we were really excited about his future. Actually, it was interesting because we knew he'd be away from us when we were making this move. He got a big hit last night in extras for Team Panama. Unfortunately, the guy got hosed at the plate, and they ended up losing that game. It was a pretty exciting ending, but good experience for him. But we were able to talk to him before he left, just give him a heads up on what was coming. It's just not his time yet, but we're really excited about his future. Obviously, Jimmy has been a big league player and would have confidence going to him just with how it lines up, just with some of the other catching that we have. We felt this was best for him right now. He's going to get a chance to work on some things, play a little bit more than he would have been able to in this camp, as we've got a few other catchers that we're trying to build up. So it gives him a chance to get more focused work, to continue working on the things that he's doing defensively. There's some things offensively that have started to click that we're working with him on, that he'll just get more reps, more exposure down there, and no hesitation. There would be no hesitation on our part. If the right opportunity is there for him, we know he could help us out in the big leagues.
I talked to Ollie about 90 minutes ago and asked him about Herrera, and he said they'd have to look at a few things today. Is there anything updated on Ivan, who was scratched yesterday?
Yeah, nothing since you guys talked. Hopefully it's something that's just a little hiccup. We'll be able to get him back out there soon.
And then, the other thing I note is in this outfield, when I was talking to you about outfield, you brought up Nathan Church's name pretty quickly, that seems to be having a good camp, still early. He's got that great arm, hit a home run right out of the gate, that he's playing center field today, and that I'm not sure I've seen him in left field at all, right? So he's, at this point, it looks like he's in a center field competition. Am I wrong about that?
No, although, look, competition's good everywhere. Obviously, we have a lot of confidence in Victor. It's just that one of the things with Churchy is that he's a standout defensive player, both the arm and also his just ability to get to the ball. So he can play center field and he can play it well. So when you have that, obviously you want to be able to use a player there who can do that and lean into that skill set. But obviously there could be opportunity in the outfield and other places too. He has moved around. We have confidence in his ability to do that. He's an interesting player. He didn't hit much in his short stint in the big leagues last year. We believe that there is more in there. and that he's one of those guys that sometimes the first taste of the big leagues, it's hard to slow it down. And that's part of why for him and Jimmy last September, it was cool to be able to introduce them to that so they can understand what it's like, maybe get beat up a little bit, take a breath, figure out what they need to work on. The ability to help us with his glove, with his legs, that's there. So if we can tap into a little bit more with the bat, he could be a really interesting player for us for a long time.
Talk about a guy taking his opportunity and running with it. Joshua Baez gets some at bats. He blasts another one yesterday. I mean, that's one of those guys that you got to sort of rein it in a little bit, I think, and not get too ahead of ourselves when it comes to Baez's future in the big leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm not telling anybody, including myself, not to be super excited about the upside. We just got to remember where he's at and where he's at in his career. And it's funny. I've been asked a lot of questions since being here, particularly around someone like Jordan about, did he get up here too fast? Was it right for him to skip AAA? And hindsight is 20/20, but it's important to remember those things when we're talking about someone like Josh, who, again, the upside is sky high. What he did, we've talked about this, what he did in 2025, you just don't see that. And he deserves a ton of credit for being able to run with a plan and actually make meaningful adjustments. And we've gotten to see it in this camp. He can impact the game in every facet. When he squares one up, boy, he's got some pop. And we know we need that. And we need that both short and long term as part of this core. He's going to have every chance to be a part of that. We just got to make sure we're not selling short that journey and making sure we don't skip steps.
Burley was 3 for 3 yesterday. He looks like he's ready to go. Plays a good first base too. The other highlight yesterday was Kyle Leahy. Hello. I mean, 4 perfect innings. It is what it is. It's great for league, but he looks like he's added that nice change, and he's got a little something going here. This rotation competition is going to get very interesting.
Yeah, he was really good yesterday. And facing, the Mets sent some guys, right? It wasn't a lineup of minor leaguers. They sent some of their dudes, not all of them, but they sent some of them to face us, and Kyle just carved them up. He was really, really good. And that was nice to see, because the outing before that was a little more sluggish, and some of that's kind of spring training and kind of working yourself into shape. But all of it, I don't mean physical shape. I mean just sharpening the saw for the season. But he had all his stuff working yesterday. He was executing. He held his stuff, through all 4 innings. It was a really, really good outing. I actually thought yesterday, that whole game, I mean, obviously we didn't come out on top, but it was a really kind of a fun game in a lot of ways. Obviously started to see some of the guys we're counting on for our big league club early and doing some cool things. Someone like Baez, who's trying to knock that door down, doing some interesting things. And at the end, some of our young minor leaguers getting an opportunity to get in there, and some hot situations, some learning moments there at the end of that game, facing a really good prospect from the other side. It was just a really cool day at the ballpark. A lot of different things. We were talking about it. We had a shortstop at the end of the game. It was an 18-year-old who hasn't played above complex ball, and some cool stuff, got a hit, and also some things on defense that he can now take back to the backfield. And okay, I can see the speed of the game up there, and I can see some things I have to work on, and let's get back to work and go attack those things. So it was a really cool day.
Yeah, Carson Shipley handed me this today. He said, "Get going, buddy, on your minor leaguers. We got a whole bunch available today." It's happening. I mean, you got a whole bunch of guys down here all fighting for positions and trying to figure it all out. And I think when I look at the construction of the team and try to figure this all out, I sense it. I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks, but I can feel the optimism. There is a refreshing sort of feel as to what you might look like. I hear a lot of people talking about expectations for the season. That is palpable. I mean, that's coming through. What is that like on the inside in terms of, again, I'm talking about wins and losses here and record. We all know what the big picture is. What about 2026 specifically for you?
Yeah, I just feel like we shouldn't put a ceiling on what we can do. It's been a cool thing about what we're seeing out of this group. The vibe has been the whole spring training. I mean, look, we've made no secret about what, as you talked about, what we're doing, what the bigger picture looks like. Sometimes that message can be sobering. We talked about it when I've tried to be very clear, because I think that's what the moment demands. And you always try to be as honest as you can with everybody, internally and then externally, of course, our fans. But even if we're saying, hey, this is a long-term play and we're going to prioritize that, there should not be a day when we don't come in here trying to compete and win a ball game. And you can feel that within that clubhouse. I mean, particularly the way, knock on wood, the way the arms have looked this early in camp gives you a lot of optimism for what can be, and feeling like we're going to come into the ballpark every day with a chance to win, where there's nothing that's going to be conceded preemptively. Look, it's a young group. We know that once the lights turn on, we're going to have some ups and downs. I mean, you have some of those when you've got a veteran group, when you've got a good team, even a team that you expect to be dominant. Those teams can go through rough stretches. So we know that's going to await us in season at some point. We're going to learn from that. Some of these players are going to learn. We're going to learn how they react to adversity. We're going to learn just how strong some of that offseason and spring training planning and preparation was. But, this is a group that I think is going to walk in the building every day expecting to compete and expecting to win. Again, we're young. We know there's going to be some ups and downs. I never like to make those predictions or put a ceiling on what we can do, because to me, like, the whole point of what we're doing, like I said, we are in this for the long haul. But if you start lowering expectations or lowering standards of what's expected from everybody in the building on a given day, whatever they are working on that day, which for our major league staff and players is going to be trying to win a ball game that night, then you're just doing it wrong, I think. And we should try to keep those standards high, battle every day, and see where it takes us.
I'm looking forward to getting after it. I'll have the games the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We just announced that Ollie's going to join us on the Gas House Gang starting on March 31st. So we appreciate his openness and transparency as well as yours. I think these are important moments for us to be able to talk to the fans in this way. So thank you for it.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, look, I appreciate the opportunity to do it. It's just generally, I think it's something that I believe in, but certainly being here and this understanding our fan base more by just interacting with our fans and being around this, like, this is a baseball town, and our fans, not only do they want this from us, they demand it. You're not going to pull the wool over their eyes. And I think this is a place where good baseball conversation is engaged in and appreciated. So we want to be able to provide that, and we want to be able to be as open and transparent with our fans as to not just what we're trying to do, but how we're doing it, so they can hold us accountable to it, so they can contribute to it, so they can get excited about it. And hopefully we'll be able to continue doing that over time.
Thanks for the time. Sorry I kept you a little longer than usual, but
no worries at all. I'm here.
We're here. Thank you.
You bet.
Chaim Bloom, Cardinals president of baseball operations, with us. We'll take a quick break on KMOX. We'll come back, get you set for Cardinal baseball. We have a noon pregame. We'll be out of here at 11:55. Back in a moment on KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports Monday and Fridays at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Get ready, St. Louis area. The St. Charles Boat Show is here March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. See the top dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks and climb aboard your next dream boat. New models, great deals, and summer fun starts here. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for details.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour.
What's he gonna talk about?
It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best is Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Tom Ackerman with you from Jupiter, Florida. They already have the outdoor living going on around here. It is very nice down here. But you know what? It's nice in St. Louis, I understand. It's a good day in St. Louis, Missouri. And when there are sunny skies like there are today, you start to think about, how does that outdoor patio look? How are things looking for this summer and the fall? Well, Chesterfield Fence and Deck can help you through that. All you have to do is go to chesterfieldfence.com and get yourself started. Just to don't take my word for it, although I love that you do. Do it for yourself. Look at all the photos of all the materials that they have, fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and much, much more. Plus, if you go to the showroom in Chesterfield Valley, you'll be blown away. I thought it was really cool how they set up all of the sunrooms, the screen rooms, the patios, the fences, the decks, the outdoor kitchens, outdoor fireplace, you name it. It's awesome. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project at Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Teachers shape the future. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who'll make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who'll help combat climate change, and generating possibilities for a student who'll be the first in their family to graduate college. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Good to hang out with Chaim Bloom here in studio on our Sports on a Sunday Morning program, coming to you from Jupiter, Florida. Here in our KMOX room, we have our own studio here. It's terrific, and we really appreciate the accommodations. It is time to talk some baseball with a spring training report, Drew Young.
Now, a St. Louis Cardinals spring training report, sponsored by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And by Happy Roof, we always create happy endings on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
And we are looking at Andre Pallante today. Pallante gets the start for the Cardinals. They're going to get going at 12-10 against the Marlins. Pallante, so far, a 3.60 earned run average down in spring training. Now, he was one of those pitchers last year that struggled, and he was one of the pitchers the year before that really shined. He was one of the better pitchers in this rotation, took a step back last year. Ollie Marmol just said an hour or so ago when I was in there, it's almost 2 hours ago when I was listening in, he told Derek Gould in our conversation with the reporters that this is the best version of Andre Pallante that he has seen. I mean, those are some strong words, so we'll see if that does come to fruition today as he's going to go up against the Marlins. In particular, he has an ability to get out lefty hitters that they really like at this point. He can be, I think, equally effective when he's at his best against both. Needs to get himself into a good rhythm. Obviously, the velocity needs to continue to tick up a little bit. And as you get stronger and stronger in spring training, that does tend to happen. If Pallante can get back to being the best Andre Pallante, that should show up here pretty soon. But there is competition for this rotation without question. And Ricky Horton and Mike Claiborne are going to give you the lineup here momentarily, so I won't steal their thunder. But it is a good lineup today. I already talked about with Chaim that Nathan Church is in the lineup as a center fielder. I want to see some thunder out of Nelson Velasquez. He's in the lineup today. Got to get some power out of him if you want him to make the team and try to figure out who's going to be the power source on this team. So that's what we're looking at today as the Cardinals take on the Marlins. Pallante on the mound momentarily. The Cardinals are the visitor today, taking on this Miami team that serves as the home team in their home park. Cardinals tomorrow will play here again against the Baltimore Orioles, and Matthew Liberatore is slated to make that start. He's off to a very good start here in spring with a 1.80 ERA, and I'll have that call tomorrow with Mike Claiborne and Stephen Carey. Then Stephen and I will go to Port St. Lucie to see the Cardinals visit the Mets. Always love traveling with Stephen. He's one of the great guys. Love him and his dad, Chip Carey. It's fun to see that father-son duo going right now. And then on Wednesday, we will all be, Claibs will rejoin us, and we'll be in West Palm Beach as the Cardinals take on the Nationals. Let's take a look at our scoreboard in college basketball before we take you to Cardinal baseball. Illinois Chicago beat Drake yesterday 72-51 to face Northern Iowa in the MVC final, and they have met their match because Ben Jacobson is at it again. He has hit the gas pedal, and the Panthers lead UIC 48-41 at halftime. That shouldn't be surprising to anybody when it comes to the NCAA tournament and how to get there. Ben Jacobson, is as good as they get. He's getting some good contributions off the bench right now, and scoring is spread out across this UNI lineup, which is pretty typical of Jake. As for the rest of college basketball, we're keeping an eye on Illinois. They'll be playing at 3 o'clock today at Maryland. The Illini will be a big favorite in that one. And we, of course, expect Illinois to have a very good seed in the NCAA tournament. I think the big question is, where will they play? And will they get a spot in St. Louis hosting the first and second round of the NCAA tournament? Well, you came to the right place, because Jerry Palm has his new bracket projection out, and St. Louis does not have Illinois on this side. Iowa State as the 3, Wisconsin as the 6, according to Jerry. But on the other side of the bracket, Illinois is in there as a 2, with Villanova as the 7. So, that would be amazing, wouldn't it, for St. Louis to have Illinois playing here? Man, oh man. Well, not here specifically, because we're in Jupiter, Florida, and the Cardinals are playing here. And when we come back in 5 minutes, we're going to take you to pregame the Cardinals and the Miami Marlins. Thanks to our producer, Drew Young. I'm Tom Ackerman from Jupiter. We say so long from Florida.
College basketball